Hi, and welcome to the Kid and Friends podcast. Today we are joined by Master Thich Dieu Thien. She's the founder of Universal Door Meditation Center in Sugar Land, Texas, just outside of Houston. Master Thich is the author of The Power of Awake, and the teachings in it focus on breaking free of the ego and experiencing awakened happiness. In today's talk, we'll go deeper into Buddhist beliefs, symbolism, and what it truly means to live without illusion. And this is our third conversation, and I'm so excited to have it. When we had our last conversation, Master Thich, I had a few moments of clarity, which I love when it happens. It's kind of like getting hit in the side of the head with a brick sometimes because I'm a little stubborn, and and we had a really nice conversation. And the last time we spoke, we were starting to focus on ego, and as time has passed since we've spoken, I've gotten a little bit of a better understanding of it, and I was researching a little bit, and I found a poem, and I want to get your thoughts on it. And I don't know if it's the best poem or not, or what it is, but it says, "You cannot catch hold of it, or nor can you get rid of it. It's not being able to get it. In not being able to get it, you get it. When you speak, it is silent, and when you are silent, it speaks." And this is referring to the ego. And it makes so much sense to me, and I'm having some difficulties with it some days. Other days I'm not, and I'll give you an example. I had a big event at my gym the other day for my team, and there's two other locations that are close to me that are on the same team, and the leader of our team came into town, but he never mentioned it to me. And he's getting paid to go to these other locations, and everyone wanted to point out the negativity of why he didn't come to see us. And initially, for a moment, I had a little bit of, not anger, but kind of like, why am I not on the list of visits? And then I realized that it's something they set up, and it's no one else's responsibility to make sure he gets to my location. But that was a moment where I wrapped my head around it when everyone else was trying to give me the negative side of it. I saw through the illusion of that, and I was able to understand that the way I reacted to it is what I had control of. And tell me if I'm having a moment of I don't know how you would describe it, but if I'm moving in the right direction with the ego on that particular one.
Wow. Truly, at that moment, you have a chance to recognize the reaction right within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a chance to see more of your hold on to something, some expectation, right? And because of that, you can let go. You can understand. Yes, that's true. That is a pop-up. Recognize.
I was immediately able to let go of it, where in the past I would have held on to it for a little bit longer. And immediately you popped into my head in our last conversation.
Wonderful.
And I knew that we were going to have another one, and I wanted to hang on to that thought because I'm finding it happening more and more where I have the opportunity to react to it, and I'm not reacting to things the way I would have normally reacted to in the past when I was younger, and maybe my brain was rewired a little bit differently. And because I think that's what's happening is I'm having a bit of a reset on my brain in the last few years as to how I reacted. I'm having wonderful conversations with all kinds of people, and you're one of my favorite. I'm just going to throw that out right now because I truly enjoy these conversations, and I have an automatic camera, so I talk with my hands, so I'm going to fix that again.
Yes, and so in general, people always hold on to what they believe.
Yes.
This way, that way. You see, expectation is a normal for society, human system.
Yeah.
And then they react that way is a normal. But when you have a chance to meet awaken your Buddha mind, awaken mind, and then give you a chance to see something beyond. It's like you are not that voice in your head. You are awakened mind. When awakened mind appear, and easy for you let the light shine within yourself, can see something you never see before. It's something about hold on, ego, and reaction, cause a negative thoughts,
Yes.
right? Feeling. And from that moment, you start to doubt your ego, right? And then from
Yeah.
that moment, the door open.
Yes.
Therefore, when the door open and then when something happening right away, you have a chance to recognize many
Yes.
things happening within
The
yourself.
recognizing of it happens faster than it did in the past.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Where it may have taken me days to work through it in the past, and I would have held on to a little bit of anger. The second I started reacting to it and speaking on it, I realized it didn't matter.
That's
And
true.
I at the same moment, I also realized, like, the thought went through my head is, why am I so important that these people need to reach out and tell me anything and everything they're doing? And
Wow.
when I thought about it, I my first reaction was, I'm not that important. And when I was
Wow.
able to wrap my head around the fact that I'm not important, my life became infinitely better in that moment for
That's
that
true.
reaction. And trust me, I react wrong to a lot of stuff a lot of the time. So I'm not perfect, but when I'm having these moments and I can see the moments of clarity, I'm loving them. I really appreciate them.
Wow, it's wonderful. And then, Chris, along the way, awaken your Buddha potential, and then you more awaken, right? You become more
Yes.
awakened. And then you can see things within yourself is that clear. And you will understand those people around you very clear why things happening that way. It's a naturally you will know. At that moment, you don't try to understand. It's a naturally you know, oh, why your wife react that way? Why your children react that way? Why those people around you respond that way? You will know immediately. And from
It's
there, true understanding appear, true love appear, and naturally the relationship between you and those people around you become more open, more fresh, more understanding. It's
it's
so
amazing
powerful.
because I start to have answers to questions I've never thought of. And like it's amazing. Like I own a Brazilian jiu-jitsu school and I have kids in my classes and I have about 150 people on my team. And people will come up to me and tell me stories about their life and ask for advice on stuff I've never even thought about. But
That's true.
somehow a good answer comes out of my head where
That's
I'm
true.
looking at myself and I'm like, who said that? Because it didn't come. It almost doesn't seem like it's me sometimes. And for example, one of my best friends, he went through a divorce, and he's about 6 years past the moment where they got divorced, and he's been living with guilt of like starting new relationships or anything else. In the meantime, she divorced him. But as he was telling me the other day, he found a new girlfriend and he introduced her to his family, including his ex-wife's kids.
Yes.
And her reaction first her reaction a week before was to say, hey, I understand you have a new girlfriend. I'm going to step back a little bit and not be part of it, which was
Yes.
very nice of her to do. But
That's
the
true.
moment she found out that he introduced her to the family, she had a little bit of resentment and anger.
Yeah.
And I was immediately able to see the reasons why she was upset and the reasons why he was upset and why everybody was
Mm,
feeling certain ways. And
mm,
during that conversation, I immediately made sense of it and had some clarity for my friend on a situation I've never even been part of. And again, I sit there and I'm like, where is this coming from? And in the past, I would have taken full credit for it. Right.
mm.
And now
Yes.
they feel more like where you use the word opening doors. Sometimes it feels like I'm
Open.
downloading information.
Mm. That's true. Yes.
Does that make
The
sense?
more that's true. It means the more the light on, right?
Yeah.
And the thing around you to become clear. And
Hmm.
all the attachment within yourself will fall apart. And then
Yeah.
just keep moving toward the light, keep moving toward the awakened source. And then
Yeah.
you don't hold on to anything, even the thing you realize, you still don't hold on to. You still let go.
Yeah.
And then from there, you are open. And then along the
Yes.
way, you go back with awakened source. The more the light on, right? Like the sunrise. The more the sunrise, right? The sun in the early morning, different than the sunrise in the noon time, right? It's like
Yes. Like
more become more bright.
sunrise versus dusk.
Yes. And then the dark will disappear. and
Yeah.
everything clear in front of the sunrise, right? Exactly
Yes.
like that. And when the awaken appear, right, all the darkness, all the illusion will fall apart. But if you are in the darkness, right, in the illusion, in ignorance, you cannot see things clear. The more we try, the more we create more problem. That's why
Yes.
people, they are not awakened. They try to solve problem many different ways. But the more they try, the more they create more problem. But when the
I
sun
find that
rises,
as
you don't
well.
need
The
to try.
harder I try, the
Yeah, the
the
harder they
less it
try.
works.
That true doesn't work. And then
Yeah.
create more problem, right? Because we
Yes.
try in the darkness and we cannot see things clear. When you cannot see things clear, you try and make more problem, more
Yes.
confusion, more misunderstanding. When the sun rises, you don't need to try. You can see things clear as they
Yeah.
are.
The
And from
sun
that
is rising
moment,
on its
you
own.
know, yes, yes, from its own.
Yeah.
And
And
then with
that's the
awaken one,
problem I have
awaken.
some days. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The problem I have some days is when there's a saying like when you're talking about somebody and sometimes they refer to somebody as dumb when they say the lights are on but nobody's home, right? But
Yeah.
now the lights are on and I'm home. And I'm walking and I'm seeing things, and when I'm having these moments of clarity where there's no effort put into them is simply amazing to me, because I'm not trying to force an answer or force a reaction or doing anything, but sometimes it's just downloaded into me the second I open the door, if that makes sense. And is that a sign that I'm moving in the right direction? Like, I'm not there all the time, but I'm having more and more moments where I'm seeing that and I'm realizing the unimportance of certain things, the importance of others. And then another problem that comes along with that, and I'm sure you're going to have a good answer on this one, is as I start to have those moments of clarity, I start to have moments of indifference to things where I don't care about, not that I don't care about something, but it's suddenly not as important to me, or people in my lives who bring negativity, suddenly they don't seem as important for me to talk to. And I don't feel the need to feed anyone else's ego.
Wow. Do you know why?
No, I wish I did.
Okay. And then that lets you know that you start to know who you truly are.
Yes.
Before you believe you are what you identity.
Right. And that's the
And
ego part
now
where I
that's
think I'm
true.
something and I'm
That's
not
true. But
really
right
that.
now you start to realize who you truly are. You are the awakened mind. You are clear mind. You are clarity. You are not the voice in your head. The more you turn toward that level, everything happening inside yourself and those people around you, it doesn't matter to you, because you start to know who you truly are. But the more you know who you truly are, the more you live with real you, wow, your life will become different. It's nothing bother you at all. And then
And
even
there's sometimes
those
I
things
feel like I'm
around
a
you,
spectator. Like I'm a
yes,
spectator
yes, that's
watching
true.
things sometimes
Yes,
where
yes,
I have no connection whatsoever, even if it's happening to me.
that's true. And then you start to feel more connection with me, right? It's me with the
Yes.
sun, right? You feel that?
Yes.
And the more you
100%.
connect with me, and easy for you to let go all the attachment, call your suffering. Because it's not you. It's easier for
Yes.
you to let go. Even you don't try to let go. But it's naturally let go. It's no meaning at all. And because you
Yeah.
know who you truly are, where you will go back, right? And then
Yes.
one more question, one day you will know. One day when the sunrise, you become more with you, will you? And then that moment, the light never off. The light
Yes.
will on forever until merge to the source, the light, the source, right? But
Yeah.
right now, because sometimes inside we still have some feather. Feathers? Feathers,
What is it?
right? It's
Feathers?
something feathers, yeah, feathers,
Yeah.
right? So something still hidden inside. It's even
Yeah.
small,
Yeah.
hidden inside yourself. Need the sun shine more within yourself in order to shine directly to the feathers, right? And from there,
Mm-hmm.
the feather will fall apart. That's when you
Ah.
need to let the sunrise become more stronger, right? And shine
Yeah.
directly to the hidden part, the hidden ego within. And then from there, boom, you will
Where do we
become free.
where do we start developing our ego? Is it as a child?
Yes,
Is
and
there
any
is
lifetime.
there is it early on as a child, or is it somewhere in the formative years where you start going away
Yes,
to school and now you're comparing yourself with others and people are comparing you to others, and now like there's a lot of emphasis in the world about like who am I? Like we'll take internet for example. Like
yes,
how many likes do I get? Is why am I so important? Like influencers in general. Like why is all that so important? It's to feed their ego and to make them feel important about the person they think they are, not versus who they really are. And does that start early as a child, or does it start when other kids start interacting with kids? Like is it already there
yes.
when you're born?
Right, already there. When each person born in this world, they already have that.
Okay.
It takes for a lifetime to appear in this world. That's when you say,
Yeah.
even you take the body, the form, but each have different personality. That's when you look at each child, right? You see they have different personality. That means
Yeah.
they already built that system for lifetime already. But now they
Oh,
come back
okay.
with different body, right? And
Yeah.
after come back, they receive more from school, from parents, from society, right? But they don't know. They start to believe they are that identity, they are that ego until
Yes.
they met awakened one, right? And can show them they are not that. They are
Yeah.
awakened mind. Even they take the form, but in each person still have awakened mind, awakened seed,
Right.
right? But they don't
Right.
realize, they forgot that. They believe they are what they identity, right? And then
Yes.
from that moment, the door open, the sun rise, and they start to realize, oh, am I? Who am I?
Right.
I'm not this. I'm a awakened mind, the clarity, clear mind. And from that moment, everything changed. And the sun
Yeah.
start to rise and can see like, oh, the identity look like the snow and or sometimes like the rock or the ice, right? And then
Yeah.
we'll start to, when the sunrise shine directly to the snow, the ice, right?
Yeah.
And they just fall, they start to melt, melt,
Right.
melt, melt, right? And then become nothing.
Yeah.
And from that moment, they start to realize, oh, that's not me. I
Yeah.
am what can see that. And
It's
from that
interesting that you
moment,
said
the
that
door
because
opens.
we had a big snowstorm in Philadelphia the other day, and I was literally standing outside. I didn't have any salt for my ice, like to make it go away, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just do it when I get home." And keep in mind, it's like 15 degrees outside, and so it's pretty cold. And my driveway's covered with ice, and the sun rose, and it was a sunny day, and all
That's
that
true.
ice still melted,
That's
even
true.
though it was well below freezing, and I could see my driveway again. It was literally a revelation I had the other day.
That's
Like,
true.
why
It's
is this still
revolution.
melting?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's showing the true self of whatever I'm looking at the time, the stone or the driveway or whatever it is. And I see a lot of people who have their entire persona is their life. Like I own a Brazilian jiu-jitsu school and I teach people to train, but I know people that everything that they care about is wrapped up in that identity of, oh, I'm a martial artist. And that's not how my brain works. It never has. But when I see it, I feel bad for people in a way, and it doesn't have to be martial arts. It could be anything where if your entire persona is wrapped up in something and then let's say you get an injury and you can't train Brazilian jiu-jitsu anymore. Now your ego, that persona is no longer, and then they're
That's true.
lost. So do you see a lot of people when they're going through a bit of an awakening and they're having moments of clarity and they start to melt the snow from the stone and they start to reveal them true selves? Do you see a lot of people who tend to feel lost? Because I have moments of that where I
Yes.
feel like I'm not on
Yes.
either side of the fence fully, and I'm somewhere kind of floating in between some days, and there's days where I feel lost, and I think I told you last time we talked where there's moments where I feel connected and not connected, and it goes
Yes.
back to what you said. The harder I try to connect, the less I'm able to connect.
You know, sometimes their personality
Hmm.
or their ego sometimes look like the glacier. You see glacier. It's
Yeah.
sometimes pleasure is good. Sometimes they think, oh, that's good, wonderful. I want to keep it, right?
Yeah.
And then they believe they are that.
Yes.
Something they can let it go. They can see that's not them. But some they still believe, they still stuck. They believe they are that. Look like pleasure. It's beautiful. Something like
Yeah.
that. So valuable. They cannot let go. They cannot see that is a problem. And from
Right.
that moment, they forgot who they truly are. And from that moment, they become one with pleasure. Is who they think they are that. And because of that, they get lost in that personality. You see it? See that
Yep.
you need to have awakened one to awaken that moment.
Right.
Awaken their Buddha potential at that moment. Let the sun rise. And awaken one will shine directly to that moment for them to hit that pleasure part. And let them
Yeah.
see, oh, wow, they don't see that before. You need to have awaken one to
Yes.
show that, to show you that moment. Because sometimes you become one with that, you don't know. And those
No.
people around you didn't have the capacity to awaken the Buddha potential and cannot show them at exactly that moment. They need to right moment. They need to hit that moment in order to
Yes.
see, oh, and seeing that moment happen, broken, next time, they will see for their own. Like the door open.
Yeah, so it's the door's cracking more open every time, and
Yes.
it's almost it's like when you're saying that, I get a vision in my head of like when I drive to my gym in the mornings. There's a field to the side,
Yes.
and in the warmer months, sometimes there's just a mist or a fog that's
Yes.
going, and the higher the sun rises, the more that fog dissipates,
That's
and
true.
before you know it, it's no longer there, and you can see everything with perfect
Mm,
clarity.
mm.
And do you find the thing I find is most people don't realize there's more to themselves than what they're presenting.
That's true. That's true. That is why they have fear to jump.
Yeah.
They get lost. They don't know what to do. They cannot jump through. That's what they need awaken one to shine the light through that. That
Yes.
cloudy. Because sometimes that's too much, too foggy. The sun cannot go through and they cannot see the sun. Therefore, they have fear to jump and they get
Yes.
lost easily. Therefore, from that moment, they ask awaken one to shine the light, make the hole, right? Look like to make the hole, can see
Yeah.
through and give them a power to jump, to move. If not, they cannot. They have fear. They
Yeah.
don't know what to do. They don't know that if they jump that way, they can see the sun. No, they don't know. Therefore, that moment, sometimes they get lost in that moment. They need awaken
Yeah.
one to break through that for them
And
in order
I
for
think
them to move.
a lot of people spend them moments in that fog, like entire days, entire lives,
That's true.
where they don't
Sometimes
see
they give
anything,
up.
and yeah, or they never started.
Yes.
And that's the part I have a tough time with as well, is as I'm going through these changes and learning more about who and what I really am, and about the universe. I find when I have conversations with some people, they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm okay with that. I almost feel sorry for them because they can't see through everything. And how do you approach a conversation with somebody who can't see through all of that and get an understanding of the clarity that you're starting to
Oh,
experience?
it's
Because
easy. Whoever in front of awakened one, I will know exactly how to help them. Yes.
okay,
Even they have no idea. But if they are in front of awakened one, I will know exactly how to break through
yeah,
the hole, right? In order to bring the light for them. And from the light on,
yeah,
they start to see something. Like
right,
you're like in the darkness, right? And then the room dark, right? How can you get out? How do you know? And then when you meet awakened one will shine the light in your house, right? In their house.
yeah,
And from the light on, they start to see something they never see before. And from that
hmm,
moment, say, oh. And then from that moment, awakened one will point out for you or for everybody to say, do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? They start to say, I saw it. I saw it. And from that
yeah,
moment, the door opened and they start to follow toward the
yes.
light, right? And the more the light on, the more they can see things clear. And from that moment, they have a power to move.
And
From
is
that, that's
part
what I
of
have to
that
give them experience.
is part of that cutting out the distractions of the world?
Yes,
And
yes.
and how do you do
Because
that?
of
Is
that,
it through
because of the
meditation?
inside and because of the world.
And I've been trying to wrap my head around meditation, and all part of the same conversation, where I thought I had my best meditation ever last night. I was sitting in a sauna. I have a sauna in my basement, and I usually go in there and I cook myself, and I have moments of clarity in there. And I was forever. I've been trying so hard to meditate, like where I'm like, oh, like I'm really focused on something, and then I learned that the less I try, the easier it is.
That's
So
true.
so to get into that moment, like last night, I set a timer. I said I don't have anything particular I think to think about, and for in my head, meditation was always becoming a blank slate, and now I'm
Mm,
starting to realize that's not really what it is. Is
yes,
I'm allowing my thoughts to flow freely, and I was finding answers to things that I wasn't searching for because I was relaxed and I wasn't
yes.
I wasn't trying. It was like it's like watching water boil sometimes, right? Like
Mm,
the longer
that's
you
true.
stare at it, it'll take forever to boil. But you walk away and you come back a few minutes later, it's boiling, even though the same time passed.
That's
And
true.
I just allowed my brain to be occupied by something else. And I had some moments last night. I was like, oh, this is what it is. And because I'm always trying to force, and it's like the awakening part where I just sit back and maybe let it happen on its own. The sun's still going to come up and melt that. And I
That's
just have to
true.
relax and sometimes let it happen. And how do I get better at acknowledging those moments in myself? Is it through moments of mindfulness and kind of sitting and focusing on like should I like the other day when I had the reaction to somebody not coming to my place? I didn't have to sit and meditate about it. I knew the answer. And I felt
Mm.
really good once the answer presented itself to me. Is that also part of the meditation? Like where maybe like is meditation for 1 second versus 1,000 seconds or 10 minutes? Is it all the same?
Very good question. Depend on the reason is easy for you at that moment because you have the question. You
Mm-hmm.
have the question. And meditation have many different levels.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a sitting meditation, sometimes a walking meditation, sometimes eating meditation, sometimes talking meditation, sometimes interaction meditation. But that is a first level. The
Yeah.
first level, but the deeper level depend on the one have a question. The
Okay.
more you have a question, give you a power to looking for the answer. And
Yeah.
you meet the right teacher to guide you to awaken your Buddha potential and go deeper inside the ego system.
Yeah.
Basic meditation just help you to realize who you truly are, help you
Right.
to recognize the thoughts within yourself and okay and arise and fall apart. But that is a first step. And
Yes.
then you need to move to another step to move to the final destination is become enlightened and liberate all the attachment called the cycle birth and death. It means the final stage.
Yeah.
You see,
Okay.
the first step is a meditation. Mindfulness
Mm-hmm.
just a basic level. Mindfulness is a mindful in each moment. But and then meditation is mean you start to know who you truly are and what is not you. But and then another level is mean you become the enlightened and liberate all the cycle, birth and death. And then that happening everywhere, every moment. You don't need to sit on the
Yeah.
cushion to become a Buddha, right? Become enlightened.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just walk. Sometimes you just talk. Sometimes things happen, boom, and then
Yeah.
open. It's mean final. It's mean enlightened. And
But
then
I
from
think we
that
all
moment,
have an
all the
illusion,
ecosystem fall apart.
like you mentioned walking and talking meditation. And I'm assuming
Right.
you're talking with someone else. But in my mind, meditation is always something I need to do solo and sit by myself and have a magical moment. But that's not the case, it sounds like.
No, not that case. Every moment, you the because the real you inside yourself everywhere. The ego
Hmm.
inside yourself every moment. Why don't you wait until you see things to realize? You can
Yeah.
realize in each moment, in everywhere, every moment, right? You don't need to
Yeah.
seeding only the first level, the first step. Because if not,
Right.
you will be distracted to many things. Therefore, sitting helps you to be present, to be settled, right? And to recognize who you truly are and what is not you. But you have to bring you in your daily life. But the more you have a question, the easier
I
for
feel like
you.
I'm getting better at bringing it over. And I heard a good statement earlier. I'm gonna tell you this one as well. It says the biggest ego trip is the biggest ego trip going is getting rid of your ego. It doesn't exist. There is nothing to get rid of. It's an illusion. So the thing that everyone is fighting is something that doesn't exist, and the ego part of it accentuates the fact that you're trying to get rid of it. So it sounds like it's like an endless loop.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you're still trapped in the system. Ego cannot get rid of the ego. Only awakened mind, the real you, the true you, can see the ego. What not ego can see the ego, right? And then like the sun is not the ego. The ego is the darkness, the illusion, right?
Yes.
And then only the sun can shine directly to the ego, and the ego will melt. But ego cannot end the ego.
It gets rid of the shadows.
Yes.
So when people come to you and they find you, I'm assuming that all kinds of people from all kinds of walks of life come and search you out and find you. Do you find that most people that are looking to get a better understanding of themselves, are they spiritually lost? Would you say that is a good term? Because I feel like that some days, and I've read about people who, you know, they feel like they're spiritually lost, but they try so many different things that they never make any progress because they're just going in circles and everything's counteracting whatever they're trying to do and stuff like that. But when folks find you, are they most of the time are they lost and looking for guidance? Is that a good answer?
Some lost for looking for guidance, and some have the issue in the family, in the society.
Okay.
They start to doubt their ego. They know they suffer. They would like to ask for help, or somebody get lost in the spiritual. They don't know what to do. Many different levels. And in front of Awakened One, I will know exactly who are they, and I will know exactly how to guide them, to show them, redirect them to the clear direction. It's become natural for Awakened One. Easy for me to help everybody.
And I'm assuming there's no timeline for awakening it either, because I don't know if I'm on a quick pace or a slow pace. Like I'm not really sure, but I understand and I see that it's happening to me.
Yes.
But and I'm not in a rush. For example, and I'll go back. I relate a lot of stuff to my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Like when I was a brown belt, which is the belt before black belt. I was a brown belt for 5 years, and people would tell me all the time, like, hey, you're a black belt. You should be upset that you don't have your black belt yet. And I always had the belief that the belt will come in its own time. And, you know, not to force it, not to ask for it, not to do anything else. And it eventually did. And to have patience. And I wanted to get your thoughts on patience in general and how to use it and when to use it, because we live in a society where everything is now, right? I placed an order on Amazon yesterday and I couldn't get it by today. And I'm like, end of the world, right? And in reality, whatever I was ordering, I didn't really need it for anything today. But we live in that society where people come in, and I'll have people come into my gym. And after the first class, they want to tell me how they're going to be a professional fighter or that they're going to be a black belt. And I'm like, just make it through day one, right? And but we live in that society where everything's a rush. And initially, when I started feeling like I was having moments of spirituality or moments of awakening, like I wanted more, right? It's almost like a drug sometimes, where it's like, okay, that felt good. That made me feel a certain way. I need more of that. And things didn't move as fast as I would like. And it took me a moment of clarity. And that clarity is happening right while we're speaking, that patience is not something you need to be patient and not rush it, because it will happen on its own. Does that make sense?
Depend. For example, in the human way, people like greedy. They always want rush. The faster, the better, right? But the more, that's mean their ego want to have the quick result, right?
Yeah.
and then create more problem. But when you go with awakened purpose, right? Truly, if you met awakened one or awakened teacher, know exactly. The most important is know exactly how, where, why, right? Who, what, right? Exactly that moment, and then blossom. It truly is quick, but quick
Yeah.
in some level. But truly, the result come right away. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like some point in somewhere you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the more you try, but you don't know exactly where the problem. That might take you forever.
Yeah.
But if you come with the clear one, you know exactly where. And then
Like
boom.
clear intention or attention
Yes,
to what the
that's true.
problem is.
Yes, that's when move quick. Truly, if you meet the clear one, awakened one, show you exactly, they know exactly where and why
Yeah.
and how. Everything open. But if you don't know, forever. That's when the
Yeah. Well,
key,
I
the
think that's
killer
the
writing.
problem I was having.
Yes, that's
Like
the killer is
I'm
a
looking
right.
for some magical clarity on something I've never asked a question to.
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
Right? Like
and
I'm
then
expecting the answer, but I didn't ask the question. So
yes,
so
sometimes the question leads you to find out the answer, but you meet the right one to show you the answer.
yeah.
Because sometimes we cannot find out the answer for our own, right? And that's
Yeah.
when we get lost. We get lost. Some have question but don't have an answer. That's when you
Right.
need to meet the right one to show you exactly direction to get
Yes.
the point. And when the door open, boom, everything change.
And I love the way that you're talking about meeting the right one. Obviously, you're the right one, but I think I meet right ones on a regular basis in my regular life. I've
Yes,
found that once I've traveled down this path or I've started on the path, I'm still at the beginning, right? Let's figure this is Mount Everest. I'm getting to base camp 1. Like I'm still able to breathe oxygen, right? But as I'm starting to have these moments, the people around me, certain ones are standing out to me as more like me than others. And there's an attraction where the people that are more similar to me, like I'll take example. I had 2 friends on my podcast the other day. My friend Phil. We hadn't talked in a few years, and we bumped into each other at a party last year, and we started talking about these kind of things. And we realized that we're more in tune with each other than we are with a lot of people. And there was a time in our lives where we were inseparable, like we were always hanging out. And now we're back to talking all the time because he has an understanding of what I'm going through, and I'm starting to meet other people or attract other people to my life that are either on ahead of me on the curve or behind me on the curve. It doesn't matter, but we're able to identify each other quicker. And it's like it's whatever reason it comes out in the conversation. Like I got some tattoos the other day. I have a ton of tattoos, but I got for whatever reason Unilome stood out to me, and I felt like I needed to get it. And I was having a conversation with my tattoo artist. And I've been to this tattoo artist many times. I probably have 11 tattoos from her. We've never talked about anything spiritual. The second we started doing this, we had an amazing conversation for about 2 hours about spirituality. And she had the comment where she lives by show me, I'll show you mine. Show me yours, I'll show you mine kind of a mentality where she won't talk about it unless someone else does first. But I'm finding that more people are open to just talking to me about it, where I haven't identified anything about myself as to how I feel or how I believe, but there's an attraction. And is that something that you have felt along your journey and you see in other people's journeys where it's almost like a magnet where all these people are starting to come together and, they connect on maybe a minor level, maybe a major level, but there's an attraction where other people of similar mind and spirit start to gravitate towards each other?
yes,
That was a long-winded question.
exactly. That good question. That's going to depend on the question in each person. For example, if the question turn toward the light, become stronger within yourself,
Yeah.
those people around you will be there, right? But from that moment, depend on you. because many things happening around you. For example, negative energy, positive energy, awakened light energy. That moment around you, always available around you. But depend on that moment. If awakened purpose stronger than all the purpose, and right away you will pick that energy to move forward. But if inside yourself you have a negative energy or another question, another thing still hidden inside yourself, and then will other energy nearby you will distract you toward that energy. That is the most important moment. Depend on who are you at that moment, because what is your ultimate goal? Because along the way, many different energy around you to attract you, to distract you. Therefore, you need to know what is your ultimate goal, and you need to develop that within yourself. That is very important, because if you don't develop awakened purpose, right, and if you don't have a question, you don't doubt your ego enough, and then that moment, many things happening around you, because they happening around you, not on only one energy, it's a thousand of energy around you, will distract you at that moment. And that moment inside yourself, if something still hidden, some is a negative energy still strong within yourself, it's still hidden inside yourself, and right away, even awakened one appear there, you still didn't see awakened one. You pick another one right away. For you.
It's interesting.
Yes, that is very important.
I love that idea, is that, when I'm going through something, some of these people just present themselves to me, or I am presented to them. Like, for example, a few friends of mine, we rented a house in the mountains a few weeks ago. And my buddy's brother was there, and he was going through something, and we just started talking, and next thing you knew, we connected and talked, just him and I, for about 2.5 hours. And it felt like I was placed in front of him for a moment to help him answer some questions. And again, it was questions that I had never asked myself, or I never thought about, but the answers poured out of me, and they had made sense to him. And I've had moments where I've needed an answer to something, and I just talk to somebody random, and some deep thoughts will come out of this person that I didn't even know, or even create some sort of spiritual conversation with. The stuff comes out, and we just start chatting, and it makes sense. So what you're saying is that these people they'll present themselves automatically, almost basically based on the universe, like that energy is going to attract whoever I need to help me get through that moment.
Yes. But if someone, they are in front of awakened one, they have more chance. For example, awakened one will know how to awaken their awakened mind. And when awakened mind, like the light start to on, right? And they turn toward awakened one light. And from that moment, they can receive awakened energy. And from that, the light within themselves start to on. And then all the question, all the negative thoughts within themselves start to fall apart. And from that moment, everything comes from their heart. They start to share in front of awakened one. They have no fear at all. Some they cannot share with anyone before, but in front of awakened one, easy for them to share something still hidden inside themselves. They never share with anyone else. They can present to awakened one. And from that moment, I start to shine the light to them. And they start to let them see the truth within themselves. And then when the truth realize, the reveal, all the negative, all the attachment, all suffering start to fall apart. And then from that moment, the light connect to awakened one easily.
Being an awakened one, does that feel like a heavy responsibility some days, or is it something that's just completely natural at this point? Because people are turning to you for guidance, and
it's natural.
It's almost it's like you're a spiritual Swiss Army knife, right? Where you have all the tools, whatever's needed at the moment. Not everybody needs the same tools, but you have an idea of which tool they need, at least to point them in the right direction.
Yes, but at that moment, just appear. I don't need to think. No, in front of that person, I know. Just appear. It's a naturally appear in each tool. I don't prepare any tool. Just because from awake world, I can see people as they are. Who are they? What they still stuck? And then from there, just like the mirror, can see things as they are, right? And from there, just manifest the tool. The tool just appear.
after our first conversation, I had such a great time. I reached out a few months later and I said, "Hey, to your folks, I think Master
Thích you.
None too. I
Mhm.
think I say her name. I reached out and I said I would love to talk to Master Tick again, but I don't have a topic." And the response was, "She'll know what to talk about." And I sat there and
That's true.
I'm like,
Mm.
okay, hold on a second. Will she know what to talk about? And then we had an amazing conversation. And I didn't even tell you what we were going to talk about today. So
That's
so
true.
when folks are coming to you and again, you need zero preparation to have a conversation, is there do you have moments where everybody's fighting for your time and attention? And is it hard to be able to have those moments with everyone?
Yes,
Because you're a beacon of light and people are attracted to you, right? Like
yes,
lost seas, ships in the sea, and the lighthouse, and
yes.
you can see the light, and they're all trying to get to you at the same time. Is there moments where is it hard to keep up with?
And yeah, truly, they all connect with awakened one right away. Whoever, wherever they come from, when they meet awakened
Yeah,
one, sometimes they didn't want to leave. They just want to be
yeah,
with awakened one forever, and
yeah,
because they feel it's a connection, they feel understanding, they feel love, they feel fall apart. All the worry, stress, depression, or stuck point inside start to have an answer, and they feel
yeah.
open and have no fear to talk to awakened one. They feel
Right.
just they and themselves. They just be themselves in front of awakened one, and they feel no judging,
Is that
no.
so? Having that understanding that there's no judgment or anything like that is it feels like it's because I feel it's easy to strip away the need to act like you're a certain person, and it goes back to the ego again. Like
Yes,
for someone it's easy to put the ego away when someone is speaking to you, it feels like.
uh, not about that. For them, when they met awakened one, naturally they connect with the light, right? And awakened one
Yes.
awaken their Buddha mind, awakened mind. From that moment, they are in awakened mind. And
Yeah.
when they are in awakened mind, as an ego no longer control them. The ego is nothing.
Right.
And then from that moment, by themselves, they know it's ego is nothing. They are at clarity, at peace,
Yeah.
open connection with awakened one, and they are open to talk. And then from that moment, all ego just is nothing. They don't need to
Yeah.
defend. They don't need to protect the ego. They don't need to try to healing their ego. No, they can share anything out in front of awakened one. And from that
Yeah.
moment, everything just because of that, everything fall apart, fall apart, fall
While
apart.
you're describing that to me, I picture a candle, and you can light a million other candles with the first candle,
Yes,
and that's the vibe I'm getting is that you're the flame, and you're helping someone light their own flame or
yes,
candle, and then they can pass that flame on to others if need be. But the source is always there, meaning you're the original part of that conversation when people meet you, and you're igniting their flame, and then once their flame is burning bright, they can share that flame with others.
that's true. That is the reason I'm here for that.
Yeah,
To light, shine the light for each person, and from there they can pass the light
yeah,
to all
it's
people around the world.
yeah, and finding that purpose as part of that light. How does and I'm not looking for a specific answer, but when do people start to identify their purpose? Because for me, like when I was younger, I wanted to be a fighter. That's all I did. I love jujitsu. I like beating up other people, and then it turned into something spiritual for me, where I was learning more about myself than the actual fighting part of it. There would be long rides home, and I would think about what just happened to me, what I went through, and I changed as a person, like the way my brain was working. And somebody was asking me my purpose a few weeks ago, and I said, well, my purpose with my Brazilian jiu-jitsu is to teach children how to fail. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm teaching them how to lose gracefully so the things in their lives that don't go well later in life won't bother them so much. And I didn't realize that was part of my purpose until I had put words behind it. And then same guy asked the question about my podcast. He's like, what is your purpose with that? I said, well, that's to, in all honesty, it's to be, I'm selfish with it because I'm gathering information for myself to make me a better person. But I'm hoping that other people will listen and pick up some of that. And in a way, I'm spreading the light as well. But my flame's like this big. You got the giant flame. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's, but
Maybe
I'm
today, maybe today, Whitman will tell you about you change the purpose a little bit different. For example, say, your purpose right now to become the light, where the
Yes.
path or fail, still the light still on.
Okay.
You don't need to. You have to move to different purpose. It means you become the light, right? And then in front of path or fail, the light still on, never off.
Right. Yeah.
You see, instead of you try not to fail, you see, either pass or fail, the light still on.
Yes.
Got it?
Right. It doesn't go away depending on
no matter what,
how,
the light still on, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And
because when the light on, pass or fail doesn't matter, right? Pass or fail is a part of ego, right? It's okay, pass still okay, but fail still okay, right? But because the light on, you are the light. You are not the pass or fail.
Right.
In this society, sure, we have to move in life, right? It's pass or fail. But if you become the light, we can pass the light throughout the world, right? The pass and fail doesn't matter. Pass and fail is a part of life. We don't need to hold on to pass. We don't need to hold on to fail, right? And you are the light. You are not the pass.
But there's lessons in failure as well, right? Like so.
Yes.
So for me to pass that light on, maybe the failure is the part of the lesson, right? Maybe that's not the ultimate answer you needed,
That's true.
but it teaches you something about yourself. And for me to be able to express that to someone and them to understand and them to affect it, passing the light.
That's true, passing the light. And then, but the more the people go back to because you are not the past, the past and fail, right? You are the light, right? You are awakened mind. You need to go back with the light, awakened mind, right? And from there, you can walk into the life, the world easy. And doesn't matter, past and fail is a part of life. And a lesson for you to realize something you hold on to. Some people, they don't want to be fail. They want to be a pass all the time, right? But life is pass and fail, right? And then from there, but only when you become awakened, you can see things easy.
Right. And there's more failures than passes in life.
Yes.
Right. And if I can learn a lesson from every failure and understand that there's a lesson in it, that helps increase the brightness of my light.
Yes, yes. And also, don't need to be stuck in the fail or past. Go back to the clear mind, who you truly are. Connect back to the clear mind. The clear mind will help you know exactly what to do in life.
Yeah.
The most important is you need to be clear within yourself and clear in front of those people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Pass or fail as a part of life.
Yeah.
Got it? Because if we focus about, I'm okay, I have to force myself to pass, or even fail, I still okay, right? Because you use that idea in your mind, keep your energy go down. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Let it be. Just open. Just open.
Let it be open to whatever the outcome is. Be open to it.
Yes. Just always be open. Because the more you are open, the more you go back to clear mind. The clear mind help you to see things in front of you clear. And you know exactly what to do. But if you always scared, I'm fail, or I will pass. This will make you stuck, right? Make you stuck in the negative energy. You cannot see things clear. You are not open. When you are not open, you cannot see things clear. You will fail again. And then you fail and you say, oh, I will learn a lesson from fail. But if you hold on to the failure, you will fail again.
Is holding on to the failure part of the ego?
Yes, a part of ego. Don't worry about that. Let it be. Let it open. Pass or fail doesn't matter. Just open. And then from there, the door will open for you. And then because of that, everything will become easy. Because when you see
Yeah.
things clear, you know exactly what to do. Maybe have no fail at all.
Yeah.
Everything you do is pass, but you don't need to hold on about pass or fail. But truly, the result is pass, all pass,
Yeah.
right? But
Everything's
we
a
hold on
pass if you're
about
learning from it.
yes,
That's an amazing way to look at it, because I spend a lot of time, like in my earlier life, focusing on basically winning and losing, and it doesn't matter what it was. It could be a family board game night, and we're playing games, and I'm like, I gotta win. Like
yes,
there was a point in my life where I was not allowed to play the family games because I was the guy trying to win at all costs. And now when I look back at that and I realize, like, oh, I was just a menace at the holiday parties and stuff, and like it became unimportant to me to win at those games because the outcome didn't really matter. When I
that's
looked at
true.
it, I realized the moments I'm sharing with the people at that time are what's important, not the game itself, but the moment. And I
That,
think sometimes perspective is a big problem for people. And how do you help people have clarity of perspective? Is it, and I'm sure it's different for every person, but if somebody presents an issue to you, is being part of the light just giving them a different way of viewing the situation?
yes, at that moment, depend on each person problem. Awaken one
Yeah.
will awaken their Buddha potential first and start to show them exactly what part still call them suffering, right? If someone they hold on about win lose, they start to see hold on to win lose, make them suffering and make those people
Yeah.
around you suffering, right? Or some hold on about pass and fail. Some hold on about good person or bad person. Some hold on about this and that. Depending on each person, they are different personality. They hold on to different problem, right? From that
Yeah.
moment, we can shine the light for each person, and then from there, they can see the problem within themselves. When they realize the problem within themselves, and right away, it's a problem still start to fall apart, and they
Yeah.
start to realize, oh, they are not that. They are awakened mind. And from they start to realize that, and they start to develop awakened mind instead of develop about the hold on to win or lose, pass, fail, or right, wrong, good, bad, high, low, right? Before they have
Yeah.
no idea, they think they are that. They are that identity. But when awakened one awaken their Buddha potential, they start to see something beyond but they never know before. And they start to realize,
Yeah.
oh, something beyond. When they hit to that beyond, and all the attachments start to fall apart, they have to have that experience for their own. When they have that
Yeah.
experience, but from that moment, their purpose start to change.
Right.
They shift to awakened level. They know they are no longer stay stuck in there, the right, wrong, good, bad, high, low, right? Before they don't
Yeah.
know, they only cling to that. But now they start to know, I'm not that. They realize
Right.
for their own, right? I'm awakened mind. I need to go back to awakened source, right? And from that moment, the ego, the ego
Yeah.
no longer control them. And they no longer stuck in the win, lose, high, low, pass, fail, or right, wrong, good, bad, right?
None
It's
of it
by
matters.
themselves, they start to just let it be. Nobody
Yeah.
forced them to let it be. No, nobody forced them to drop it. By themselves, they start to drop it. And then
Yeah.
from that
Is
moment,
that
the
part of the
clarity
journey
appears.
best experienced on their own
Yes,
without
that
guidance?
is it, the part of journey to go
Yeah.
home.
Because I feel like I'm at the point now where the door opens, and
That's true.
sometimes it starts to shut, but now I'm at the point where I'm like the vacuum salesman, and I put my foot inside the door and it's not getting shut.
Yes,
And
that's true.
I'm
Keep the
and
door
I'm
open, right?
yeah, I'm keeping that door open and I'm
Don't
trying my
ever
best
let
to
the
do
door
it.
shut, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And but I'm
Yes,
aware when that door is closing sometimes, and I'm able to throw
that's
my
true.
imaginary leg in the door. Sometimes it hurts
Yes,
when the door gets slammed
yes,
on my foot, but you know what? I'm willing to take that pain sometimes to move
wonderful.
forward.
That's true.
Yeah.
And until one day the door naturally open, you don't need to
Yeah.
force yourself to make the door open. But first, at first, because you need to make that vow. To make
Yeah.
that when the door open, you need to make the vow to keep the door open, to turn toward
Hmm.
the light, and don't go backward. And then until one day the door naturally open, you don't need to use any effort to open the
Yeah.
door. The door naturally
Like
open
the
for you.
like the automatic doors at the supermarket. You
Yes,
know?
yes,
Like
that's
you
true.
just walk up to it and it's opens up
That's
and you're
true.
stepping into like a
Yes,
better spot.
but at first you need to make a vow, right? Let the vow
Yeah.
to make the door open, open, open. Even the habit of energy will pull you back, but don't follow. Don't follow the
Yeah.
voice in your head. Keep the door open, connect to the light, and until one day you have a power to get out of that
Yeah.
habit energy, and then from there naturally just the door just open, and you don't need to
So
try to keep the door open, but the door still open.
yeah, and it's part of me losing that ego is it helpful to create a vow once you have an
Yes,
understanding? Like we were talking about how I my next level of whatever it is to be a light for others, and that should probably be my vow to myself is
that's
to
true.
be the
That's true.
best light possible when I can.
Yes, but when you met awakened one, you have a chance.
Yeah,
You will be the light, and then will pass the light to the world because you felt connect with awakened one, right? How do you
a
feel when
hundred
you met
percent.
awakened one? You feel
Well,
connected, right?
I've described you to other people multiple times, and
Mm,
there's and the way I always describe you is there's a movie with Eddie Murphy from the '80s called The Golden Child. I don't know if you've
mm,
ever seen it, but there's a small child who is like the reincarnation of something, and
mm.
everybody's trying to get him, but that child has this like presence that you feel it, right?
Yes,
I've met a few people in my life where this has been the thing, but the moment I set eyes on you, the first conversation we had, like I could feel your energy coming through the laptop, through the screen, coming through space into my mind, whatever. And I was truly changed after it. And when I say changed, like maybe a little bit of a difference, right? Then the second time the door opened up a little bit more, and then as we're getting closer to this conversation, I started noticing more changes and more opportunities where my brain was open up and awakened, and the way I process things have changed. And as we're talking today, I'm realizing it. And I never thought about making a vow to coincide with whatever my purpose might be.
mm. Wow,
And
wonderful.
after this conversation, I definitely have a feeling that my vow should be to be a light whenever I can be. And then I'm not going to be one all the time because it's just not,
That's
it's my
true.
personality. Like there's just parts of me I have to work through to be that all the time, and it's not always there. There's moments where I will lose my cool with my kids or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there's
That's
moments
true.
in life that become overwhelming and you get caught up in them. But I'm getting better at acknowledging those. Like the other day, my son and I were doing something, and I was worked up about something, and I unleashed on him, and not in like an angry way, like, but I was just picking at him about stuff and being like passing my negative energy on to him. And I came down in my studio, and I was sitting here for a few minutes. I'm like, he didn't do anything to deserve anything that he just got from me as far as like emotionally. And I need to go up and apologize. And it was interesting because I went up and apologized to him, and the thing I apologized to bothered me more than it bothered him. And and I found that interesting because he didn't really care one way or another. But I wanted to show to him that is that I am changing, I am evolving, and maybe in the past I would have been angry and just really fired away on some stuff, and other people in my life would be the recipients of it, but not necessarily because of anything they did. It was me passing on my energy, and as I'm getting these moments of clarity, that negative
Wonderful.
energy that I would have passed on in the past just dissipates on its own. There's nothing to pass.
Mm. Yes, but well, it's a good question right now. Last conversation with Awakened One, you start to realize about the problem, the ego problem, right? And
Hmm.
then you caught the problem, right? And then from there, easy for you to apologize, right? But
Yeah.
this conversation give you a chance to connect back with the clear mind, right?
Yes.
Make a vow to connect with Awakened One, the clear mind, right? Awakened mind. The more you connect with Awakened mind, and the vow is a naturally at that moment, all the ego will fall apart.
It'll
It's
burn on its
naturally,
own.
yes, yeah, just fall apart. And then from there, the vow help you to connect back with the awakened mind, awakened
Yeah.
one, right? And from
So
there, the
pay
light
attention to the
on.
vow, but don't force it.
No, don't force it because you already connect with the awakened one. You already connect with the vow. You already
Yeah.
connect with a clear mind, right? And you already realize about the ego. 3
Mm-hmm.
points already appear inside yourself right now, and the
Yeah.
vow help you to develop the clear mind, develop
Yeah.
the connection with awakened one, and develop the Tao of ego. Not about force. The vow
Yeah.
give you a consistent to develop, not drop. You see,
Right.
not
Yeah. It
yeah.
gives me
Somebody say the
purpose,
vow.
but not like it gives me, I don't want to say goal
To
because that doesn't seem
nurture,
like the
right?
right
Like
word.
to nurture. The vow help you to nurture your
Yes.
clear mind. And like watering, continue to watering. Like you plant
Yeah.
the seed, right? Awaken seed. It's a very baby, it's very tiny, it's very weak. Therefore, the vow help you to nurture, to water it.
Yeah.
Continue until one day they grow up, right?
Right.
That the vow. But you don't have to force yourself. You just
Yeah.
become natural but consistent to develop the vow. And then
Like a
when you develop
lotus.
the vow in that way, right? And then
Yeah.
from there, everything open.
I love the way you were describing that, and again, I always get these pictures in my head, and I was reading about the lotus flower earlier, and first time we talked, it was about muddy water, and then clear, and then it was very clear, but the
Right.
lotus grows in the muddiest of waters, right? And that
Yes.
beauty comes up and grows, and if I just allow it to grow, the beauty will show itself to the world.
Wonderful. Yes, that's true. Yes, you
Yeah,
allow it. But with our vow, it naturally will be distracted to many things. On the vow,
yeah,
keep you to go back to the awakened mind, go back to the real you and let go the dirty water, right? The negative
yeah,
energy, right? And from there,
yep,
the vow help you to connect with the awakened one. And that just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And one
yeah.
day become natural for you. But without, we will forget. Without vow, easy for you to forget and go back to the habit energy,
So the vow
right?
gives me the purpose, but it's not something I should be looking at all times. It's
That's true.
pay
Yes,
attention to it.
yes. Carry that vow with you in each moment. And
Yeah,
the vow remind you to go back with the clarity. The
yeah,
vow help you to recognize the voice in your head. You no longer follow. The vow help you to connect with awakened ones in order to
yes,
connect back to the source. And from there you will see it's so powerful. And
yeah.
one day like the lotus will blossom
I love it.
on the surface.
I know you have to go soon, but I love these conversations with you, and I hope we can have many more. Uh,
Wonderful.
I I truly look forward to them. And last time we spoke, your folks invited me to a retreat at your center, the meditation
Wonderful.
center in Sugarland, and I didn't have the time, just because I had a lot going on. But I'm giving you my word right now as we speak that I will be out there at some point this year in
Wonderful.
2026. And if I can come out there, I would love to sit with you in whatever your favorite locations are and just have an
Yes.
interview that we could record and you could share with people. Uh,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
because I get something out of this every time. And I came into this wanting to talk about ego, but I'm leaving with a vow. And
Wow. And you will know next time another thing, the door open, right?
yes,
Wonderful.
and so I'm going to pay attention
Excellent.
to it, and I thank you, and I love the fact that I can share results with you and get real time feedback on what I'm going through, and
Wonderful.
if somebody else gains insight from this, that's amazing to me, and I look forward to our next conversation, and I just want to say thank you, and if you could hang on one sec, I'm just going to hit stop and just talk to you for one more minute, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. Hang on one
Thank
sec.
you.